Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another roundup of the latest updates in the PS4 and PS5 jailbreaking scene. So starting off, the Flow has resurfaced to update his original BD jailbreak project, an effective userland exploit that can be used to trigger a kernel exploit through Blu-ray Java. The update includes a jar loader similar to Hammer 83's implementation, a remote jar loader that can execute jar files sent to it over the network, and it also optimizes native calls, making them twice as fast as before. We also have some updates to the network Lua loader, which could be used as an entry point to trigger future kernel exploits in the PS4 and PS5. It uses modified save files to run the loader, then executes Lua scripts that are received over the network connection. We now have 5 titles that are supported, including the Hamadashi Creative Demo, which can be downloaded for free on the latest firmwares through the PSN store, although it does require a Japanese account to do so. We also have more test scripts added, so we've got the Hello World script, the original one, that prints out the base address of the eboot.bin, libc, and libkernel, but now we also have a payload for the PS4 which can spawn a notify message, and some others that will try to initiate crashes to see how the crashes are handled, if they are being correctly handled without crashing the game. So those are some of the developments there. PlayStation also released a new update for the PS5, bringing the firmware version up to 10.40. The Lua loader has actually been tested on 10.40 and it has been confirmed to work. So it looks like they haven't really patched anything relating to the Lua loader here in 10.40. And there's not any mention here about any kind of security fixes to the system software in the notes. So it doesn't really look like they fixed any major bugs in this version so far, but time will tell, of course. We also now have a working backport of Black Ops 6 for jailbroken PS4s, thanks to the one and only CYB1K, who's been hard at work backporting this title for quite some time. Call of Duty games always seem to be pretty tricky to create backports for, but CYB1K always pulls through and manages to get it done. So there's also a PS5 compatible version that's got the game, the update, and all of the install packs merged into one package file. And the whole thing is like almost 100 gigabytes, which is crazy when you consider the fact that this is a last gen version of the game. So good luck if you have poor internet, but at least this merged package version will allow you to run the game also on jailbroken PS5s. So great news there, we now have a working copy of Black Ops 6 that we can run on jailbroken PS4s and PS5s. So following the Elden Ring Easy mod, Lappy has now released an easy mod for Sekiro and Bloodborne. So these easy mods reduce the damage you take by about 50% in these games, effectively creating an easy difficulty option for those that want to play a Souls game without banging your head against the wall for hours at a time. So I know some Souls purists will not be happy about this idea, but you know, at the end of the day, that's why we have jailbroken consoles. It gives us the ability to play our games the way that we want. So more power to them as far as I'm concerned. Also, Lightning Mods is back at it again with the No Blu-ray Drive Updater, with a new update to support updating to 11.00 from 9.00 plus firmware. So if you're on 9.00 all the way up to 10.71, you can update to 11.00 with a broken Blu-ray drive, because if you have a bad Blu-ray drive or it's not detected by your console, it will refuse to update the firmware, leaving you stranded on that version. Now, there are methods of resolving this, but they normally involve opening up your console and hooking up a hardware flasher in order to be able to fix the issue. So obviously not many people are comfortable doing that. So the No Blu-ray Drive Updater takes advantage of existing exploits to allow you to update the firmware completely through software, even if you have a broken Blu-ray drive. Now, the downside is that it does require you to still have access to the operating system, as many of the people with broken Blu-ray drives can only boot into safe mode and are stuck in safe mode, and therefore this will not really apply to those people. So for them, they'll still have to go through the hardware method of fixing the issue. But for anybody else who can still boot into the software, you will be able to use the No Blu-ray Drive Updater to update to 11.0 from these older firmwares. So another thing that happened just yesterday is that Zeko posted a link to what appears to be some leaked data from PlayStation's either official repair program or from their internal facilities, their internal factories. So this includes internal documents detailing PlayStation's official repair steps for common faults, including things like service manuals, there's diagrams, there's part numbers, there's also error codes, all of that stuff is included, and internal diagnostic software that has also been included. So I'm not going to share any of the footage of what was leaked, as it was taken down shortly after it was posted. There has been a mirror link posted since then that does still appear to be up, so it is still available for download. But obviously I'm not going to link to any of that stuff at the moment because PlayStation seems to be trying to take it down from what I can see. unless it was taken down by somebody else for another reason. But anyway, this is definitely a gold mine for anybody that works on fixing PlayStation 5s for a living. It also appears to be quite old, as most of the documents are dated up to about 2021 for models CFI 10 and 11, and don't seem to include any information about the PS5 Slims or Pros. Now, sticking with Zeko for a bit, he also provided a dump of the 30th anniversary theme that was recently added in the latest PS5 firmwares from his friend. So this does help to preserve the theme in case Sony remove this in the future, because supposedly it was only meant to be a limited time thing. And also, this could allow us to potentially run it on jailbroken consoles by replacing the VSH assets with the ones from this dump. I wouldn't recommend trying that at the moment, since this is for a much higher firmware, and there might be some changes that need to be made to make it compatible with older firmwares, but it could allow us in the future to get a working 30th anniversary theme on our jailbroken PS5s, without having to worry about PlayStation taking it away at some point. So in my last news update, I also showcased a playable dump of Demon's Souls on the PS5. Well, now we also have DMC 5, Devil May Cry 5, that has also been successfully decrypted and turned into a playable game backup. Again, talking about the proper native PS5 version here. Now, it is strange that these dumps have been kept private up until now. I was expecting the Demon's Souls dump would have been posted by now, but it seems that everybody who has it is keeping it private. And I was under the assumption that the new decryptor would be included in the next version of Items Flow and ETA Hen, which may still happen. It might just be that Lightning Mods is holding it back for a Christmas release, which is quite common for certain developers to hold certain things back and release them on Christmas Day or around Christmas or New Year's. So that could certainly still happen. I certainly hope it's not a situation where these game dumps are going to be kept in private indefinitely. Hopefully they will come out at some point. Okay, and last but not least, we also have Spectre's hypervisor talk that has finally been published on the hardware.io YouTube channel. So the talk gives you a good idea of the current state of PS5 exploitation and how Spectre went about successfully bypassing the hypervisor using two different methods with jump tables and QA flags. Definitely worth a watch, especially if you are considering getting into PS5 exploitation. And even if you're not and it goes way over your head, which a lot of it does with me, I'll be honest, still a very interesting watch nevertheless. I definitely recommend checking it out. I'll leave a link to it down in the video description. So anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed this video or found the information useful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And once again, I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video.